lot of things that I regret not doing as an Emirates cabin crew. So in this video, I will be talking about those things. This video will contain a lot of information and tips for you, my lovely. So if you're interested, keep on watching and let's start. Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel Queen MK. My name is Hajar and I'm a cabin crew coach. In today's video, as I said already, we will be talking about the things that I regret not doing as an Emirates cabin crew. As I said again, this video will contain a lot of tips for you. Maybe they will help you with your career or even during the assessment day, because you can share some of the things that I usually share with you during the examples that you say in your assessment day. First, let me thank the kind words that I received from you, my lovelies. Thank you so much for those kind and lovely words. And yes, I'm pregnant. It's been a few months now. I'm 6 months pregnant, so yay. Usually I don't really share my private life with you on social media, but I might share some of the things that I'm doing. For example, prepping the room and prepping some stuff for my baby, because it just makes me so happy, and why not sharing that joy with you? And let's get right to it. I will start with the first thing that I regret not doing as an Emirates cabin crew is actually visiting more places. And here you might be confused, but I will explain to you. You know that we can actually bid for flights, which means we can choose the flights that we go into. I usually bid for some certain flights. Even if they give me other flights, I will try and change them with some other flights that I really want to go to. For example, I like to go to Algeria a lot, which is my hometown. I like to go and see my family. I like to do grocery and shopping from my country because I prefer that actually. Also, I like to go to certain places for shopping and for some other stuff. For example, when I have friends in Korea, I like to go to Korea a lot. So I avoid going to the other destinations like all cabin crew do. So I just keep on circulating in the same circle, and I really regret that, because as a cabin crew, you get to travel all over the world for free while you're working, and also you will have people that will help you visit those places. You will have people with you, for example, your colleagues or even customers that will go out with you. So please, when you start flying, go to as many places as possible, because you will regret that. And also, one thing that just kept me doing this same thing is that I always say, well, there's always time to go and see that city, so I swap it with another flight. But then I left before I visit the world, though I visited so many places. But then again, there are some places that I did not visit, and they're like, I wish I went there. I had that flight, but then I did not go because I just swapped it with another flight. I spoke about swapping flights and also bidding for flights. I will explain about that, so don't worry, this might help you as well in the future. Swapping flights simply means that you can change flights. Here there are some restrictions. You might struggle with restrictions. For example, Arabic speakers, it's really rare for you to swap and change flights with other people that are not Arabic speakers, because maybe you know, maybe you don't know, there must be 2 Arabic speakers per a flight. And also there are some other restrictions, for example, the flying time, and some people might have already 100 hours during that month and you only have 60 hours. So you cannot have a short flight and you give them a long flight. Those restrictions are mainly related to this, plus of course the language barrier. For bidding, you can actually bid for 5 flights a month, and they can either give you those flights or not. It actually depends on the seniority and also in the group that you're in, because there are 6 groups of cabin crew. All of them are actually put in 6 groups. They are divided into 6 groups. So for example, if you are in the group number 1 and this is your month, then most probably you will have the flights that you requested, but it doesn't really go that way. Sometimes the people who are in the group number 1, they get nothing, and the people who are in the group number 6, they get mostly every single thing they asked for. I was extremely lucky with the flights that I request. When I request, for example, Japan, which is really hard to get, I get 3 Japan per a month. So imagine, I was actually lucky with that. I don't know how, but whenever I bid for a flight, I get it, except Algeria, of course. When I bid for Algeria, I don't really get it. So I have to change flights and swap, learn the word, swap the flight into Algeria flight. I said visiting more places, but then imagine visiting certain destinations and not taking pictures. And that actually happened to me, and maybe many of the boring cabin crew like me. I'm not that boring, but still, I did not take those many pictures. Imagine, I go, for example, to a certain destination, which is amazing. I go out and I don't take pictures, or I take horrible pictures. I just like, oh my God, I'm tired, I'll just take a picture like this. Or I take pictures that I'm not in even, so I don't really have something that will prove, and not just prove, that will remain with me as a souvenir, which sucked now. I'm like, I went to that place, why didn't I take a picture? If I say that I went to that place, I will just look like I'm pretending that I went or something like that. So please do take pictures when you go to destinations. Even if you feel that you don't look that glamorous, that good, take pictures. You will have them in your gallery, and you will always have them. Not everyone is lucky enough to be a cabin crew. Not everyone is lucky enough to travel all over the world. So please take as many pictures as possible. Also, one other thing that is related to visiting places, which is souvenirs. Do you know that the cabin crew usually collect those magnets that we put in the fridge? For example, you go to Japan, you take a magnet. You go to Algeria, you take a magnet. Tunisia, you take a magnet. Some cabin crew, they take this as a priority. They have to buy souvenirs, even if it's not a magnet. They do take souvenirs. But some cabin crew, like this one here, this ex-cabin crew, I don't really care about souvenirs. I did not care, but now I do care. I'm like, why didn't I buy souvenirs from that place? Why I don't have anything from that place except those stupid things that I usually buy for shopping and stuff? Why didn't I buy something that will remind me of that destination, even if it's not a magnet? Something else. Why? I really do regret it, because when I see cabin crew buying those magnets, I'm like, oh, that is so cheesy. Why will you even buy this and keep it in your fridge? It will just make your fridge look messy. But no, it will make it look good, like you've been there and there and there and there and there. Also, some other cabin crew, they even buy a board which is specialized for magnets, and they do hang their magnets there, and that is amazing. So please do that when you start flying. Please collect souvenirs and magnets whenever you can. I'm moving step by step to the most important parts that I regret not doing. So now I will talk about saving money, because you need to save money. I always talk about the fact that there is no retirement. So you have to save money. You have to plan your future. You have to always have a plan B. In case something bad will happen to you, you have a plan B. You have to save money from your salary and your allowances. I lived with a girl, a flatmate, and she used to save the allowance, not the full allowance, because I know that she went out to take pictures and videos, but she used to save a lot of money just from the allowance. And imagine, what was I doing in the beginning when I first started flying? And I'm talking about, when I say like when I first started flying, I'm talking about the first 2 years. I used to throw that money. And you now think that I might be a liar, or even, I don't know what you can think, because when I think about that, I'm like, oh my God, that girl is stupid as hell. Because I thought that that money is just, they give it to us just like that. but it is a part of your salary. So when they give you that money, yes, spend some of it, but then the rest of it, keep it and then convert it to the money that you will be using or the money that you will be saving. Imagine, I used to have like coins, and not just coins. I used to have coins and then some papers, I think. That's how we call them. Like, money like this. But I thought I will never use them, so I'll just throw them. They're just like that in my handbag. They're very heavy, so I'll just throw them. And then one day I saw my flatmate and she was collecting money from the rest of the allowances that she had just in that period, which is around 2 months, 3 months, and she had 600 dirhams. So I was like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. I need to start saving money. I need to start keeping that money, not just saving money, but keeping that money and converting that money. So you can save from your salary and from the allowances that you will be having in those hotels, because when they give you that money, you don't have to spend all of it unless you have certain things to do. But if you're just going to eat, then please don't spend it all and keep some money. Also from the salary, I'd say spend the half of the salary and keep the half of the salary, convert it, send it back home, so you always have a plan B, please. Avoiding stress. Okay, the meaning of that, avoiding stress. And here I'm not talking about stress during the flight itself with customers or colleagues, but I'm talking about the management stress. You know that the management tend to send a lot of emails. Cabin crew tend to get really, really stressed about it. But as I said in my previous video, protect yourselves. Memorize every single thing that happened to you during the flight if you think something might go wrong, and you are well protected. So when you receive an email from a manager or from management in general, don't be stressed, because you can protect yourself if you know what you're talking about, if you know everything. Why I'm saying this right now is because when I receive an email from my manager or any other email, I will be so stressed. You cannot imagine. I'm someone who gets stressed really, really, really fast. It's like when I receive that email, I will keep on thinking, what did I do? I will remember eventually, but then, oh my God, imagine I received that email. I remember one time I received an email and I had an appointment with my manager, and I was so stressed that this area here, it was just like this, so big and so spongy. It was really, really scary. And I had to just call sick because of that, and I had to go to the clinic just because of a glimpse or something. So I was really stressed just because of that. And imagine what, nothing happened eventually, and I didn't even get a verbal warning from that. So I was so stressed, literally for nothing. So don't stress, and remember what they say. You will always have what's meant for you. What's meant for you, you will have it. Otherwise, don't get stressed over those tiny small details, for example, the management. Otherwise, you will not be able to enjoy that work. You will not be enjoying those layovers and those hotels and those fancy places. So just take it easy. Whatever happened will happen. As long as you respect the rules, you know what you're doing, khalas, it's easy, right? Okay, this point is really, really important. And I said that a couple of times in my videos, but I have to cover that again, because I believe that if every single person of you did this when you're a cabin crew, things will change completely for you and for the other people. Here, I'm talking about appreciating hardworking colleagues. I did not appreciate, especially in the first years of flying, I did not know that it was a cool thing to appreciate people. I did not know that it will make them so good and it will just make them go and do better at the job actually and feel better about themselves. So imagine if you fly with someone who is doing his job correctly, but not just that, who is doing extra. For example, you can see that he's always out when you're all in the galley, but he is in the cabin with passengers, talking to passengers, helping passengers, actually doing every single thing with an extra nudge. Why not report them in a good way? Why not sending an email to their manager and appreciating them? Well, hello, Mr. الجديدة. I'm here. I'm sending you this email to talk about the lovely colleague that I flew with. You mentioned the name, you mentioned the staff number. He was doing that and that and that and that and that. And I can see that he is an amazing cabin crew and he really deserves every single positive thing that might happen to him. This simple email will be a good thing in his file, but not just that, in your file as well. So when you appreciate people, you will have a good thing in return. So let's not just focus on the bad reporting and more on the positive reporting, because it will help them, but it will help you at the same time. And when you do that, I'd say good karma will get you, because you will have people that will report you in a good way. Attending webinars. I don't know if you know webinars, but then webinars is a thing that happened in the cabin crew portal, and you can actually register for that, and you can go online with other people that will help you with their experiences. Here, why I said that. I regret not going for webinars. Actually, I do, because I know that they will help tremendously. We tend to forget things, but then webinars will remind you of every single thing. They will also help you with getting more knowledge about the job, about the airline, about that field. So you will be more informed. And why I'm saying that? When you are more informed, you will avoid a lot of problems that might come your way. You will know how to handle them better, not just on board, but again here, with management as well. So I really do regret not going to webinars a lot. I mean, like more often. I also regret not reading a lot about the airline when I had the chance to go on the portal and scroll in every single thing and getting more and more information. Though I like to learn a lot and I like to go and scroll and have some information, but then I did not just give it a lot of time, and I did not give it a lot of priority actually. But then here, when you start being a cabin crew, give it a lot of priority, because those things will help you in your career. So if you want to become a cabin crew and fly for a long time, then you should do this. If you want to become a cabin crew and just fly for a year or two, then there is actually no need to do that. Okay, there is one tiny thing that I wanted to say as well that I regret not doing. And people usually ask me this question a lot, which is, did you meet any celebrities on your flight? And the answer is yes. You do meet celebrities on board, especially in business class or first class or even in economy class, where they cover their hats with the blankets so no one will recognize them. I remember meeting some Arabic famous people in economy class, and as I said, they used to cover their faces with blankets so no one will know that they're flying in economy class, or I'm not sure, but it was actually weird, because those people from a certain destination, and they are Arabic, they cover themselves whole flight. No one will see them except if you are doing the service on that area and you have to actually wake them up and you're like, do you want anything? And they're like, no, we don't want anything. But here you cannot ask them for pictures, right? But in business class, in first class as well, I met some famous people, Arabic or non-Arabic, but I did not ask for a picture, and also I did not really have a conversation with them, because I'm like, they might be tired, they don't really look that good, because usually when they fly, they don't put makeup on. The girls here, they don't take care of themselves, so I cannot really ask for a picture. They might say no, and my pride is just so I cannot have that no to me. So I never ever asked for a picture with a celebrity. I never had the nerve to do it, I guess. I always said they might say no, so I will not even just do it. Let it go. And I know some girls who took lovely pictures with celebrities. They were lucky enough to have that courage to ask, I guess. but I never ever ask for pictures, even when I'm out actually and I meet celebrities. I don't ask for pictures. I don't know why, but I do regret that, especially out. When I met some celebrities, I'm like, oh, I might take a picture. Oh no, oh no, oh no, I wish I took pictures. And I guess that will be it for today's video. I hope you like it. I hope you have some tips that will help you in the future. If you have questions, then please do ask them down there in the comment section. Take care of yourselves. See you on the other videos, and bye bye.